And so I'd like to call to the stage Mr. Rob Maxwell, who is our chair of our Mobility and Transportation Committee, and he's with Jones and Carter.
So our first speaker today is Commissioner Charlie Riley from Precinct 2 up the road in Magnolia. So he became commissioner in January of 2015, and prior to that he was operations manager for Precinct 2 for about 13 years. Charlie has been a lifelong, well, almost lifelong resident of Magnolia for 45 plus years. He has volunteered as a community leader for many, many organizations and boards, including a past president of the Magnolia School District. He is well known for volunteering throughout the community and donates a lot of time to organizations and various fundraisers and benefits groups throughout the county. Before he walks up here and you guys give him an outstanding round of applause like you did Rob Greening for leaving the stage, I want to acknowledge that this past week Charlie and his wife Deanna celebrated 40 years of their marriage. So please welcome Charlie up to the stage.
State Highway 249. I wish I knew how many times people told me it would never happen in my lifetime. But according to these fine gentlemen sitting here, and a couple of these gentlemen over here, if I can make it 2 to 3 more years, I'm going to get to see it. So I just put y'all on the spot. You know, 249, it's amazing to see what 249 has done in the Tomball area, and I cannot wait for it to move north across the creek. I know when I first got involved, started attending some of these meetings with Judge Doyle and Commissioner Cagle, John with Harris County Toll Road, Quincy Allen, TxDOT. They had a pretty aggressive schedule on how they wanted this road to go and how fast they wanted it to happen. And I was shaking my head like that. Oh, there is no way they can pull this off. But they did it. And I was sitting in a meeting one time and I told Craig that when they get ready to do this again and they get to Spring Creek, no matter what it takes, we cannot let that road stop at Spring Creek. It's got to go, and it's got to go north. We got to have it in Montgomery County. I don't know if there's anybody in this room that thinks that road's more important than me. It's coming right through my precinct. It's coming right through the middle of my precinct, and I'm so excited about that. And it crosses or intersects with every major FM road in my precinct. It's gonna connect to 1774. It's gonna cross 149. It's gonna intersect 1488. It's gonna intersect 1486, and then it'll tie back into 1774 in Grimes County. So the economical development along that road, I'm not going to give you any numbers. These guys have got all the numbers that you want to hear, and the numbers are, they're amazing. So I just want to be sure, I just want to let everybody know how much Montgomery County is supporting this road, how much Montgomery County is behind this road. We'll do whatever it takes to get this, make this happen. We are looking forward to it. I know the school district, I met with Dr. Todd Stevens yesterday. They've already met with some folks along the route looking for a school site. So things are happening, and it's not even there yet. But people are planning for it. They're ready for it. They're looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to it for a couple of reasons. One of them is for October and November. Maybe some of that Renaissance traffic will go down 249. I've been in Magnolia since 1971, and the Renaissance showed up just shortly after me. And nothing against the Renaissance. I don't want anybody to think I've got anything against the Renaissance. But that traffic gets worse and worse and worse every year. And if these folks will use this new toll road, that would be such a blessing. But anyway, I think that toll road is going to be outstanding for Montgomery County. I already see what it's done for Harris County. I look forward to working with these gentlemen and the partnerships we've got. I think this road is just like, it's almost like shooting at the ground. You can't miss. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Okay, so next up we've got John Tyler with the Harris County Toll Road Authority. John is the Deputy Director of Engineering for the toll road. He is a friend of mine. I've known John since the early 90s. He's got 2 bachelor's degrees, one in architecture, one in engineering from University of Texas in Austin. And if you were to ask me why the toll booths look the way they are changing to look, and that beautiful arch bridge that's over 249 and the way they used to look, I think it's because of his hands and his architectural flair. And so please welcome John Tyler.
Thanks, Rob. Boy, a great crowd today. Usually I'm speaking at transportation committee meetings, and they're not quite as energetic as this crowd is. This is really awesome. So what I thought I'd start this afternoon, or is it afternoon, right? This afternoon is giving you an idea of where we've come from. You know, we opened phase 1 of the Tomball Tollway in April of 15. And in this chart, you may not be able to read the numbers on the vertical axis or the names on the horizontal axis, but this is our monthly transactions from when it opened. So the reason the bar starts so steep at the beginning is we opened mid-month, so it didn't even get a full month, so it leapt pretty quick. But as you can see, it has been a very positive impact, made a very positive impact to the area. A lot of people are using it. Which is a good thing. You know, anytime you start a new road, you're never quite sure what you're going to get. We've been very fortunate that it's been well received in this area and utilized quite well, which is a good thing as we continue north and into Montgomery County. So to give you a little idea, y'all, the graphics got a little odd if I tried to use real aerials and things, so I've got computer-generated graphics. So this is what's out there today. You've got a 6-lane facility with the turning lane in the center from just north of 2920 up to Spring Creek. And Spring Creek is where the county line ends for me, and so our project tends to end there. And James Baker is going to talk about what's going on in Montgomery County to receive this road. But this is what you have out there today. I know the college in an aerial looks like a big circle, but our graphics guy said it was faster to do this. So we can complain to Jason. He's an awesome guy, but anyway, so it gives you an idea. You see Brown, Baker, Zion roads to give a little idea of where you are in Spring Creek up there. So the new facility is going to take the existing 3 lanes, essentially push them to the outside of the right-of-way, so to allow the tollway to be constructed in the center. Unlike phase 1, where the frontage roads were already in their future location, we have to reconstruct them here to make that happen. So what I thought I'd do is sort of walk you through what you're going to see over the next 3 years of construction. There you are today. You got traffic moving in each direction with the turning lane. You're going to start seeing construction begin at the end of this month of the southbound frontage road lanes. If you look towards the college, everything to the west of where the road is today, there will be a frontage road built out there. It's got so that's how far it's going to go to the west a little bit. You may have seen some trees being removed for the utility lines to be relocated along that corridor. So phase 1 is going to construct essentially the southbound frontage road lanes. Traffic will remain where it is today, won't be impacted. Phase 2, those southbound frontage road lanes will be completed. The southbound traffic will be placed onto those lanes, and the northbound traffic will be shifted on to where the southbound traffic was. So on the west side of today's road will be where the northbound lanes are, so that we can construct the northbound frontage road lanes, which are on the east side of the right-of-way. Once those are open, then we're able to remove the existing roadway in its totality, so that we can construct the tollway in the middle of the 2 frontage roads lanes. So and then when that's done, then you'll have the completed facility out there with the 6-lane tollway that will match up with what's out there on the southern side of phase 1 that we constructed and opened in April of 15. There is no main lane toll gantry at this. The one that's out there on the south end is the only main lane toll. There are 3 ramps that will be tolled. You can see the little dashes. They're essentially getting from 2920 onto the tollway to go north, and then one just north of Baker Road as you head northbound as well. There will be some street improvements. We worked with the city of Tomball. They requested some additional right turn lanes to make the throughput a little easier off Brown Road. So if you're on Brown either direction, there's going to be a dedicated right turn lane that allow those people that want to make that movement to occur. So it'll improve some of just the functioning of getting across Brown and 249 when we're done. Baker Road today dead ends into 249. It will sort of still do that. If you cross Baker Road, you will go into the new entrance of Lone Star College. They're going to move their south entrance drive to where it'll loop around. That orange color that you see there will be their new entrance drive, and it'll tie into the signal at Baker Road. So it'll make that kind of a nice thing to give a dedicated turning movement for it. And at Zion, it'll essentially be kind of like what it is today, but it also will have a right turn lane as you approach 249 from the east to be able to make that movement as well. We think that this will help a lot of the flow that occurs on the free lanes that are going to be out there, and it'll be a lot of improvement. And it's good working with the city. I know George was here earlier. I don't know if he snuck out already, but George Shackelford of the City of Tomball has been a big help with us as we've coordinated through a lot of these issues. So as I said, the end of this month, you'll start seeing construction out there on those southbound lanes. We expect to complete this facility in December of 19. You know, it's going to be one of my Christmas wishes that year to have it open by then. And that's what I keep telling my staff anyway, so it'd be a good thing. But with that, you know, the road itself is dependent upon the section in Montgomery County being completed. So they're sort of been waiting on us. We're setting the pace a little bit because they needed our section to be in place before they could construct theirs. And to open ours, we're going to need Montgomery County's section to be complete. So James, I know, is next. I think Rob's going to come back up and introduce him. But thank y'all for letting me come out and let you hear a little bit about what we're doing.
So that's some of John's architectural handiwork, I believe. So next up we have James Baker. James is the Houston Operations Manager for Halff Associates. He is also the Program Manager for the Montgomery County Toll Road Authority doing the 249 development. He's a graduate of Texas A&M. I told him I wasn't going to read this, but I'm going to read it anyway. The first 6 years of his career were spent right there in God's country working for TxDOT at Bryan College Station office of in the Bryan district. But now he's down in Houston. He's working private sector. But thank you, James, for being here.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for having me here today. Here is a picture I took of the looking into Montgomery County up on the top here, back on a nice sunny day. And then when Rob and I met out there when it was flooding, I took the same picture there. So now you can tell why we're kind of raising that bridge up a little bit. So where's the clicker here? Okay. Here's a big picture. When I got on the project a couple years ago, Harris County was in the middle of building phase 1, which is on the left here. That's where they built between the existing frontage roads. And then the plan was for phase 2 to start with Harris County building all the way to Spring Creek, Montgomery County to keep primacy and build the section within the existing frontage roads up to Pinehurst, and then from there on, TxDOT would have a design build segment moving forward all the way up to Grimes County. Some of the specifics as you go through the job here. Here's the Montgomery County line and Spring Creek Bridge. Our project begins at the abutment of the bridge. I think I have a laser pointer here to help me with this. Yeah. So we start here on the main lanes. We start back here at the existing frontage roads where they tie in the frontage roads during their construction. Rack Materials is right here if everybody's familiar with that area. We're continuing their lanes across the main lanes across here, and we drop a lane as you go northbound at the first exit ramp. And from there forward, we'll carry 2 lanes northbound and 2 lanes southbound. At Decker Prairie, we will have a overpass Decker Prairie and Hardin Store Road. We're going to do some signalized intersection improvements here at this radii. It'll be 4 lanes, ultimate 6-lane overpass here with U-turn lanes included. Continuing on, we'll have down at Decker Prairie or Decker Branch, there's an existing stream crossing we have to cross with our main lanes, and our toll gantry will be right there near the Pinedale crossing that is removed for the main lanes. It'll be the same architectural look as what was carried on in Harris County. As you get near the end of our project, we have an overpass at Woodtrace Boulevard. It stubs out to the east here, but on the west is that Woodtrace development. And here's the breakpoint limits of our segment. We build about, our segment is about 3.5 miles of main lanes. Some facts on this section of the project. We have already had an agreement between Harris County and Montgomery County how we split the cost of the bridge and the improvements in the ramps that were put over in Montgomery County. We have an approved TxDOT agreement, which means we can start construction anytime. We can get out there early even and build clearing and start clearing trees as soon as we want. Our design is at 80%. All our environmental field work is complete. Our drainage study is in final review with TxDOT. We are going to initiate another traffic and revenue study to use the updated data because Hectra's operating their section of the toll road, and they're seeing a 22% increase from the projected revenue, what they're seeing actual over the last year. The construction cost of our segment is $63 million. And the schedule I highlight over here, Hectra begins construction this month. Our job is a slightly easier job to build because the frontage roads are already there. So our main lanes will take 20 months to build. So that means we'll go to bid in early of 2018 with the expectation of a joint opening of the road in December 2019. What else I got here? Oh, there's my contact information, and we're going to have questions at the end. So, Rob.
Thank you, James. I don't believe, Quincy, you didn't have a PowerPoint, is that correct? Okay, so let me introduce you. So, Quincy Allen is the district engineer for the Houston District of TxDOT. He started at TxDOT in 1985. A little fact about Quincy is I believe his father was also a district engineer at one point for the Houston District, so he's following in his father's footsteps. He formerly was the area engineer in the east and south areas of Harris County, and while he was in those roles, he oversaw the demolition and removal of the Baytown ship channel, the tunnel that went underneath the ship channel in Baytown that was replaced by the Fred Hartman Bridge. He oversees the counties of Brazoria, Fort Bend, Galveston, Harris, Montgomery, and Waller. Houston District is the biggest in Texas. We are bigger than Dallas. He's a good man. He's coming up now to tell us a little bit about 249 from the TxDOT perspective. Please welcome Quincy.
Thank you, Rob. This morning I was walking into our office. We have a 5-story building there in the middle of town across from Memorial Park in Houston. Wind's blowing and it's kind of cold. I was remembering when I first started my career, I got to work out in this area. More specifically, I got to build the second bridge over Spring Creek there on, I guess, what was 149 at the time. The coldest day of my life at TxDOT was in that Spring Creek bottom, and I was inspecting a pile driving operation. And we had Shin Brothers from Stephenville, and those guys worked rain or shine. They were awesome. I don't know if any of y'all remember that project, but it was something to see, something to be part of. But it was a day like today, except it was drizzling rain, and we had cleared the trees enough to give us room to widen the road. And there were a lot of pine trees and forest back in that day. But it created a perfect avenue for that wind to blow right down the right-of-way. And standing down there with the drizzling rain and those guys from Stephenville going like there was no tomorrow, I thought that, I could never be more cold than I was that day. So now I come to this meeting and get to see some pictures about how the bridge we built, wasn't quite tall enough. And I appreciate John and His team. No, but, you know, things change. I get it. That was in the late 80s, and obviously we're here today. Y'all doing quick math, it's about 30 years ago. So that's a pretty good life for a structure that it'll always be my favorite one. At least it'll be now my favorite memory. Thanks, John. But it's onward and upward. It's all good, as they say. And the other thing that kind of makes you feel old, well, first off, they start taking down stuff you built, and then they put the word old in front of the barbecue place that I used to eat at every day, the old Tomball barbecue. Anyway, that's the way it goes. All right, I appreciate you letting me reminisce for just a minute. We're going to build a section of 249 in Montgomery and Grimes County. Okay, we'll pick up at the end of Charlie's project and take it on up into Grimes County near Navasota. We have about 25 centerline miles of 249 to build, and we're going to spend about, well, a little bit more than $600 million doing that project. Okay, now that includes the construction cost and the right-of-way and design fees as well. Okay, someone mentioned earlier that we're doing a design-build project. Most of the projects you've heard about today are a design-bid-build, where you get the plans ready and you take bids, and it's typically a hard bid. Design-build is a delivery model that lets us go a little bit faster. We can do design and construction at the same time. Usually the designers and the constructors are partnered up. We give them a schematic, which is basically some engineered details about what we want the road to be, where its alignment is, and that sort of thing. And it's not a hard bid process, okay? We accept proposals. And we have two providers that are going to propose on this project. Their proposals are due in March, okay? Now, because we're not taking low bids, we're taking the best value, we'll accept those proposals, and then we'll go through a very rigorous screening process where we're going to look at everything from the technical details they're proposing, their sections. We give them some guidelines. We want pavement to be a certain thickness and those sorts of things. But a lot of details are up to the designer. But we'll not stop there. We'll also look at their team, the strength, the experience, and that sort of thing. All right? And then we'll make a decision and identify what we believe is the best value. We expect that at the end of April, the Highway Commission will make a conditional award to the proposal that we suggested. So those are always big days when you open the envelope and share that with the public at the commission meeting. The next big date will be in July. That's what we call a notice to proceed. That is typically the start of construction, okay? So we're going to start in July 2017. Now here's our money ball here, if you will. Our goal is also to finish at the end of 2019. The last thing I want to be is a newspaper with Charlie telling everybody, well, we're ready, but TxDOT's not. No, Charlie's a great partner. He wouldn't throw me under the stagecoach or the bus either, I guess. But anyway, but we've got plans. We've even put some incentives in our contract to make sure that we can get the Montgomery County part finished in time. So we're excited about that. Grimes may be a little bit later, but anyway, it's coming. A little bit more than $600 million. We're building in Montgomery County. We plan to build, 4 lanes, 2 lanes each direction. As we get down into Grimes County, it's 1 lane each direction with turn lanes. There's a short frontage road section in Grimes to address some local access issues, and we've got some diamond interchanges and things in Montgomery to help provide the access that's needed there. Anyway, we're excited. March is right around the corner. Time's moving fast. And I'd like to introduce to you real quickly from the podium. I brought Varuna Singh with me. Varuna is the director or leader of our strategic projects office. All right. Design build is something we've been doing for several years. It enables us to go obviously faster and do bigger projects. 25-mile project for us is a big project, and we're excited to be a part of this. I thank you for the opportunity, invitation, Bruce, to speak. I'll be glad to hang around. Varuna and I will both be here. We've got cards, and if you need anything, just holler. Rob, I'm ready.
Thank you, Quincy. So we've got time for maybe one or two questions. If anybody has any questions of the panel, feel free to raise your hand and speak loudly. We could probably send a microphone around if you have any questions at all. Yes, sir. One question right there.
I'm curious what the driving surface is going to be, concrete or asphalt.
Did everybody hear the question?
Okay? The question was what kind of driving surface the tollway will have on it. It'll be a concrete surface. We're actually going to do a ground surface. There's a new surface that TxDOT is implementing on the 290 project that's supposed to be as quiet as asphalt type, if you want to, as a comparison. I'm not putting Quincy on the spot, but we'll grind it. It should be a very smooth and quiet surface. So that's what we intend on our section.
Montgomery County as well is building concrete pavement. We haven't looked at the grinding yet, but we might consider it.
We'll probably grind it.
Oh, yeah.
They told me I got to be the cleanup hitter. I'm getting hammered here. We're concrete too. We hadn't thought about the grinding and grooving, but if you want to ride something that's pretty quiet, get up on 290. We've done some of that work, and we're doing university research, and John's right. It does produce a much quieter ride, about at least 5 to 7 decibels. So.
Thank you all. Any other questions from the group? Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned that you're going to elevate the bridge. How high will you raise the bridge?
The question was how high is the bridge over Spring Creek going to be elevated? Okay. It's about 1.5 feet too low with all the rains that have occurred out there. The criteria, so in the last 30 years, the criteria has changed a little bit for drainage, and as everybody's aware, what happened last year, the bridge is too low, and we're gonna raise it so that we hope we're not the dam in this creek if it ever has high water again. So it'll be about 1.5 feet to 2 feet higher.
Thank you very much. Yes, in the back.
The question was, as the frontage road construction occurs, will the businesses be impacted? And then what are we going to do as far as coordination with the businesses? When our construction begins, the driveway, the goal is to always have access to on a driveway. It may not be the exact same driveway, but a driveway to your business during construction. We're usually not in the business of building frontage roads, but we're following what TxDOT's done as policies for that. There'll be little signs up that tell people where the driveways are for the businesses during those times. But you should have access to your business at all times. Our construction trailer and our construction management team will be coordinating with you. The trailer for them has been set up at where Business 249 intersects 249. Weber Contractor is the low bid that won our contract. And you can either, if you've got a question as a business, you can either email it to our communications department off of our website, HCTRA.org. And you can find a way to communicate that way, or, you know, if you want to stop in at a construction trailer, you can walk in and start asking your questions if they're not already out there communicating with you.
Thanks, John. I have a question. Well, go ahead. You have a question.
I'm just curious, and it may have been in there, but who is funding this roadway improvement, one? And then two, what is the cost to drive on it?
Okay, so the question is who is funding the improvements that we talked about today, and then what is the toll? I'm going to assume it was the toll price for utilizing it. So the funding, the Harris County Toll Road Authority uses bond money, which means that we go out and acquire money based upon what we expect our revenue to be generated on our tollway. So that's the way we're going to move forward with the financing of our facility is we'll borrow money and pay it back as we collect revenue. I believe that's the same for Montgomery County as well. And I'm going to answer before I hand this to Quincy so he can answer his financing question. The toll on our section is not going to change. The main lane toll plaza that's out there today south of where the Grand Parkway is going to be the only main lane plaza. So you're getting quite a bargain for the 2 miles now, because we'll add 2 miles and not change the price. That wasn't a good joke, was it?
Ours will be similar to John's. The toll rates and the fact that we'll use some bond money that'll be reimbursed with toll revenue. So,
Montgomery County, they'll have a main lane toll plaza, and the TNR study had it projected at starting at about $1 as the main lane toll charge there, and would increase at the same rate that Hector would increase their tolls as you go along. The facility is all electronic, and so it'll all easy tag from anywhere, NTTA or anywhere will work.
All right, so last question. As small businesses want to do business with the big contractors moving into the area to do the $600 million TxDOT design build and the $63 million Montgomery County, and how much was Harris County?
99.
99 million. So all told, that's about 750 million if I did quick math. How do small businesses get involved in projects like that? Is there an office that they call it TxDOT in Harris County? Varun, you want to take the question?
Hang on a second. Varun is saying, right over, no, I'm just teasing. Ours is pretty complicated, but let me just boil it down. We've got some DBE goals and things like that for smaller disadvantaged business enterprises. I've seen proposers have open houses once they're selected at hotels and things where you can come in and talk to them about what your ability is. If you guys check in with the Varuna, and we can identify the proposers to you today, and if you've got a craft or a skill or something you think would be a good part of our team, we'll put you in touch with the principals there. They're focused right now, though, on meeting number one goal is being ready at the end of 2019, and they may tell you, hey, we're not ready to start talking to subcontractors yet, but the last couple of these we've done, we've had open houses at hotels in the area, so just watch for that. That's usually pretty well publicized.
All right.
Is that helpful?
That's perfect. Thank you, Quincy. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you, Charlie, John, James, and Quincy for being here. Everybody give them an applause.